Hey everyone, this is Dr. Vic, and you're tuning in to the Mindful Experiment, and I'm excited to have you here. This is a topic that I've researched for quite some time that I wanted to share with you guys. I've had people on as guests. We've had different concepts of this being discussed, and I thought, hey, why not me share a little bit of this concept of how to really turn on the brain with focus, mood, elevated mood. Um, Being able to concentrate, but also create neurogenesis. This is a process that helps rebuild brain neurons or neurons in the brain. Basically keeps the brain young and so much more. And so I'm excited to have you guys on here. Again, this is something I'm very passionate about, and I hope all's going well. Before we dive in, though, to today's topic, I do have a workshop coming up. So if you're listening to this before or on September 14th, please take a look at it. I have the links in the show notes to check it out, but I'm sharing all about how to live, how to create, or how to have effortless success. I'm going to be bringing quantum physics to the principle to support that. And this is for anyone that wants to level up in life. You don't have to be a business owner. You can be anyone in life. If you want to understand these principles, how to step into the quantum world, and how to be able to not get so caught up in the doing side of things in life and be able to truly learn the essence of being. That's the principles of what I'll be sharing in there and so much more. Check it out. Show notes. It's on September 14th. That is a Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern time. There will be a recording, so if you happen to miss it or you can't attend, but you want to make sure you watch the episode, the webinar, or the workshop, go ahead and just make sure you register, and you'll get a replay link. So this concept, what I'm talking about, is something called nootropics, and I've been doing some element of nootropics now, probably for the last, I don't know, 9 years, and 8, 9 years. And it's been something to how can we elevate our mind, right? How, ever since that movie came out, Limitless, with Bradley Cooper, I think his name's Bradley Cooper. It's one of those things where they took the pill and he becomes limitless, and all of a sudden people wanted to take him more. He was very super successful. He can process information faster and all this stuff. And I think that created curiosity for people, and especially in the supplement industry, to be like, how can we do that for the brain? And there's so many different, it has blown up now since then to where there's gazillions of different products that are out there that can allow for you to do just that and so much more. There are so many companies coming out with so many new products that are out there, and they're all about nootropics, brain optimization, focus, power, all these different things. And I've probably tested, at least 50, 60, 70 different products related with that, because I truly believe that with that concept, I was always looking for what's new, what is something that's out there that can be better, and what's going to get the results, because some of them didn't work, some of them did. And that when I say they didn't work, they just didn't work for me. But it's one of those concepts where, what if you could just take a pill or take something, a blend of something, and be able to increase focus? How well will you do in the day if you can just increase your focus? Now, imagine if you can increase your focus and you could also improve your emotional well-being. You can elevate your mood. How's that going to change the way your day outcome is? Now, when you look at just those two elements alone, that changes the game. Because when I was first coming out in the chiropractic and starting my business, I promoted to a lot of corporate wellness, to a lot of corporations. And one of the things I would talk to their decision maker would be, what if you can increase the focus of your employees by 30%, increase the productivity by 50%, right? Now, I did this through the element of mindfulness and teaching mindfulness practices and how to do that from that perspective. This is a whole nother element that can help with that. Now, I'm not going to say one's more superior than the other. For you guys who know me, I'm very transparent. I am a purist. I try to minimize as many things as I take as much as possible and utilize what is pure. Pure means within, and so, or within, or according to nature, in alignment with nature and the universe. So when I look at that term purist, I could just meditate. I can do cold plunges, and that will help get me to where I need to be, rather than having a sense of coffee or having a nootropic. But there are times in my day or during the week where I need to take something to really I want to really hammer things out and get done as fast as possible, no distractions, to stay centered as I can. And that's where I utilize nootropics. I'm not someone that uses them every single day. I have a product that I'll be talking about later today, where it's a month supply, and I've probably been using it for 3.5 months. I think I'm at 4 months now. And so it's one of the things where I don't use it as often, just because I don't need to, because I practice things like meditation and breath work. I do cold immersions, like a cold plunge. I have 40 degrees water sitting at any time to go plunge for 5 to 7 minutes. I work out and exercise a ton. I work out almost every single day. So I'm always challenging my nervous system, challenging my mind, challenging my body. But there are times, 1 to 2 days a week. Sometimes I have to make, 50 videos in a short period of time. And so I'm like, you know what? Let's get the nootropics going. I want to be on my A game. I want to be able to just fire out as many as I can. And that's it. And then I'll chill and relax, go do some extra exercising, go do the infrared sauna, detox a little bit, and then feed my brain, give it nutrition, because it has just overworked like crazy. And so there are so many products out there that I can share, that I can recommend to do that. But nootropics is a way to elevate your mind to allow you to do it. Now, what I love about nootropics and certain ones, they also create something called neurogenesis. What they also do is, and I'll talk about neurogenesis here in a second, but they also improve the connectivity response and impulse response in the brain, so you can process information faster and more efficiently. But Genesis means to create, and neuro is the brain or nerve. So neurogenesis is brain creating. So it helps create new neurons for the brain. So that helps keeps the brain young. Our body already naturally does this. I think we recycle and utilize, or we regrow neurogenesis about 3%, 2 to 3% every year. So it may not seem like a lot, but when you have 200 billion neurons, 2% of that's anywhere from 4 to 6 billion neurons being recreated every year. So every, 25 years, more than that, 50 years, you should have a whole new brain. But we do also do things that counter that, like alcohol. 1 ounce of alcohol kills 10,000 neurons. So just understanding these principles, I'm not here to bash alcohol, but, just understand that it does affect the brain health. And so if you want to keep your brain young and optimal, you want to minimize your alcohol. Stop at all costs, but minimizing is also great to do. But there's things we can do to enhance this kind of products and so much more. And so to be able to, on demand, turn on the brain, it is a whole different aspect, a whole game changer for individuals to level up in that concept. And so there's a product that I had shared, and I have it in the show notes. You can listen to my interview with the leading scientist of the company, where we discuss nootropics. We discuss how did he get into nootropics? Why did he create the company? What's the power behind it? And he's he's very passionate in biochemistry. But you can check out the podcast, the episode in the show notes. But this company really, we've gotten to a point where first it was just nootropics, and you took something and it helps with one thing or another. Then they got into what's called stacking. Okay. Stacking means you take one thing for focus, but you take another thing for elevating mood, but then you take something else. And then the synergisticity of all that can create an overall experience to maximize as much as possible. I am a firm believer in customization. Everything I've done in my career as a chiropractor, now as a virtual doctor, and also a business spiritual mindset coach, I have done everything I do is customized. It's customized to the individual. There's similarities between individuals, but there's a uniqueness that you can't find nowhere else. Like there's no other human in the world that exists like you. Past, present, future, it'll never exist again. So the power of understanding that is just a whole nother level to take. But when it comes to nootropics, there's also a certain blend that's going to help individuals to really get the most of what they need. And this company, Nootopia, does that. To me, they don't use any sort of drugs because there are some sort of like drugs that people can add into the mix. This is specific blends, plant extracts, and certain amino acids and so forth, to help you at the individual of what you need, what you're seeking, and they customize it to you. There's no one else I've seen do this as well as they do. There are other companies that do similar stuff like this, but they also add other things, which I'm just not a fan of. This is one of the more safest and cleanest that I found so far that can do just that. And it's great because you can take, like, I tested everything. I was like, well, I don't really need to focus so much, but I love to have a little bit of some focus. I would love to see more of the elevated mood. Why not? I'm always in a decent mood, good mood, but I'd love to go, if I could take it higher, why not? And I was like, but what I loved about it is they had all these things and they worked. I mean, I've been taking them, like I said, I don't know, for quite some time, and it literally does. They have like a Nectar X, which is a powdery drink, and it's put in some water, and you drink like a quarter to a half of that as quick as you can. Usually about 24 ounces. I do a liter. But then after that, the last half, you just sip over time, and it just gives you sustained energy. It really does. It's amazing when it kicks in. I can feel it. And I'm like, whoa, ready to go here. It's really cool. Um, but they have so many other Apex, Brain Power, Savage or Focus Savagery. I mean, that is aggressive focus. I was like, holy cow. I took it one time and I was like, I had to get a lot done, and I did within like an hour, but I had so much more to go. And I just told my wife, I was like, if I take this again, I need to be like, I got to be left alone for like 2-3 hours, because it's just, that's how intense the focus was. But what I appreciated about the company and the product is they have something called Mental Reboot. I believe that's the name of it. And what that does is they have a morning and an evening pill, and it helps just get the congestion out of the brain. I've never seen that much with companies. Like, I do my own decongestion of my brain through helping improving my lymphatic systems, fulvic acid, humic acid, and some other things to just kind of keep that excess out, because my brain processes a little faster than the norm. You can give that credit to being an undiagnosed ADHD kid. But either way, with having an high IQ, my bandwidth of processing is a lot faster. I can take in a lot more and process it faster. So that's a beautiful thing. But the other side is you have a lot of exhaustion that comes from that, because you're working up more. Think about it. If you think of like a car, the more you rev the car and utilize the gas, the more the exhaust you're going to create, right? Well, the exhaust has to be processed out of the body. So when you build up too much, it's called metabolic waste. That can create foggy brain and a bunch of other things. And so this is great because it helps get that out, and it helps lower and calm and get the excesses out with the brain. And I thought that was critical. I've never seen that in any of the products that I've ever taken. Most of the time, they're just a basic nootropic where they'll help with focus, memory, elevate mood, and so forth. And there's a couple other companies I really like. There's one I've been using for like 5 years straight, and I still use that on and off. Again, it's a bottle. One bottle lasts me over a year. Again, it's supposed to last, give or take, I think it's like 5, 6, 7 weeks if you used it consistently. Again, I don't use it often, but when I need it, I take it. That's the why I do and don't. But this company being customized, Nootopia, is really just great to get your hands on what you need. And I don't want to sound like a salesman. I'm just sharing with you guys. I've been taking this product now for about 4 months, 3.5, 4 months, and the customization, what they offer, and how they help individuals is just great. And coming from my background of doing this for so long, like I said, I've tested out 50, 60 different companies, different products, I should say. And, again, some didn't work, some did work, some got me too jittery, some, if I was on it for more than 3 days, I'd have like mental fog just because I'm working too much. This is great where you can do the work with it. And then you have the reboot to help give the brain the nutrients it needs to help get that metabolic waste out, to keep mental acuity and clarity there of what you need. And I noticed it from when I first did the PM one. I remember I was like, oh, this is cool. They have this. Let me try this. I took it and I woke up the next morning. I'm like, wow, I have a lot of mental clarity. I was like, that's a little different than the norm. That's interesting. And then I did the morning and I did the night again, in the morning and the night. And I just started to notice I had this mental clarity. And then I kind of declined. I'll be honest, it did decline down a little bit. But I think my body was I didn't have much to get rid of. So I just waited a little bit. I wait like a week or two after using nootropics for a few days, and I'd do it again. And then it would come, I would feel it. It wasn't as strong, but I'd be like, wow, okay. There's some cool stuff here. So it's, again, if you're looking to level up your life, and this is for people who are really interested in leveling up their life in this way, because nootropics have never been inexpensive. I'm just being straightforward with you. I remember the first one I took, it was like $129, and it was a month's supply. And it was something that they coined nootropic, and it was great. It gave me some energy, but it wasn't something that I would, share, because it's just like, it did good. I didn't like some of the processes, but again, I was just testing things out. Like, I'll test things out. I may not recommend that to a a client or a patient, but I will definitely test things out. But it's one of those concepts, one of those things that really has helped individuals to, I've tested so many now to where I have it down to a science of what works best for me. And so, and when you have a company like Nootopia who can go ahead and be customized to you, that is a whole game changer. And that is something that literally, if you can just focus a little bit more and turn that on to a higher degree, help elevate your mood, have mental clarity, right? And then also create neurogenesis. It's a game changer. You imagine continually doing that over a period of time. How well is your life outlook on life can be different? How well, how well are you going to be at your business or your job or at just in daily life? Everyone's always looking for more energy. I think that's why we become dependent on caffeine and coffee, which is not the greatest thing. And so the key concept is then what can we do that's more natural creating, right? Because our bodies are naturally designed to create energy. It's just what we have done in our society and our lifestyle, and this is me getting into health kick, which I don't normally talk about too much on here, is we live a life that is way more in demand than what we need to be, or just too much in demand. And so instead of recalibrating our life, we just take more things to stimulate. So in a society where we're in today is we stimulate, and then we depress at night. And this is now all of a sudden we're ramping up and then depressing down, ramping up and depressing down, ramping up and depressing down. That's the kind of life we're at right now. And it doesn't have to be that way. We can change all that. Nootropics is nice because it gives you what you need, no jitters, and it's not forcing anything on the body. It's just working with systems of the brain to get neurocircuitry, better nerve impulse and connectivity, neurogenesis, and then also that's from that point of being, it helps elevate focus and mood and concentration, but it also, elevating the mood is a big one for me. I really like that one. So looking at this, for all the listeners, you guys get a special discount. I've been able to, if I ever share something with you, I'm like, well, I want a special discount for my listeners, so that you can, don't have to get the whole full price of things. You can have a little bit of a price breakdown with that. So to learn more about the company and to purchase an order, they'll have you take out a quiz and you'll see what you need and so forth. And then they'll give you a recommendation of what to purchase. Again, when it comes to nootropics, they're not that inexpensive, but I can tell you it is one of the things that I've been taking again for the last 8 years, not this product specifically or this company, but overall, it has been something that has elevated my mind in so many ways that I continue to utilize nootropics in my life. And I've recommended to many of my patients, especially my, the entrepreneurs, the overachievers. But sometimes you just need a little extra focus. You don't want to be dependent on coffee and other things. This gives you that little boost that you need. So check it out below. I have it right up in the show notes. You can get that code to enjoy the discount. Check out the website and so much more. If you have any questions, let me know. But I appreciate you guys. Also, make sure to check out the upcoming workshop I have for that I'm sharing on quantum physics, how to create essential, effortless success. And if this is your first time tuning in, please subscribe. This helps expand. Subscribe. You don't miss another episode. We release often, pretty much twice a week. And then if you like the podcast and you like the episode, please share a review on Apple or wherever you're listening to. It really helps expand the reach of this podcast to help out more, to help serve our mission. And then lastly, if you enjoyed this, pay it forward by sharing it with just one person. One person can create a ripple effect to start to create some inspiration and to help elevate others. So I appreciate you as always. Hope you guys all have an amazing and blessed day, and I'll talk to you next time.